All right, today we're jumping into a really magical and honestly pretty deep anime story called A Whisker Away. So get ready for our breakdown of The Girl Who Became a Cat. So let me ask you something kind of weird. What if the only way you could get your crush to notice you was to become their favorite pet? Like their actual cat? Would you do it? It's a wild thought, right? But that's the exact problem at the very center of this story. Okay, so let's get into it. Meet Mio Sasaki. She's in junior high, and she has this huge, almost ridiculously over-the-top crush on a classmate named Hinode. And when I say over-the-top, I mean her methods are, let's just say, unique. Her go-to move, it's something she calls the sunrise attack. She literally runs at Hinode and bumps him with her butt. Yeah, it's just as weird as it sounds. And no surprise, Hinode wants nothing to do with it. He totally ignores her, thinks she's a complete crackhead. But Mio, she doesn't even care. She just loves hearing his voice, even when he's yelling at her to go away. So you gotta wonder, why is she trying so hard? Well, the thing is, Mio's home life is not great. She's got this awkward relationship with her stepmom and dad. She feels totally misunderstood and basically invisible. It's this deep loneliness that pushes her toward this really strange encounter at a local festival. A giant, mysterious cat shows up and offers her a magical mask. And this mask, what does it do? Mio finds out pretty quickly that when she puts it on, she, poof, turns into a cute little white cat. And we're not talking about a costume here. She becomes a real, actual cat. This is the beginning of her secret double life. And this is where things get really interesting, because look at the difference. As human Mio, Hinode barely knows she exists. But as cat Mio, who he names Taro, by the way, he absolutely adores her. He cuddles her. He tells her all his secrets, all without having a clue that it's the same girl he avoids at school. For the first time in forever, Mio feels seen, feels loved. The only problem, it's not the real her. Of course, there's always a catch, right? That mysterious cat who gave her the mask? He's known as the mask seller, and he starts popping up again. And this guy is super shady. He starts planting this idea in her head. Hey, your human life is complicated. Why not just give it up? Stay a cat forever. It's so much easier. And this is where it all goes wrong. Mio decides to make one last desperate attempt to connect with Hinode, as herself, as a human, and it backfires. Spectacularly. It's a total public disaster that pushes her right to the breaking point. So she writes him a love letter. But before she can even give it to him, some bullies grab it and start reading it out loud for everyone to hear. It's so cringy, and Hinode is just mortified. In a moment of panic and embarrassment, he totally lashes out. He snatches the letter, crushes it in his hand, and yells out that he hates Mio. For her, it's just the absolute worst-case scenario. Utterly devastating. She's completely shattered, so she just runs away from everything. Later that night, she does the only thing that makes her feel better. She turns into Taro the cat and goes to Hinode's window. But here's the thing. While she's there, asleep and totally vulnerable, the mask seller shows up, and he steals her human mask, the one and only thing that lets her turn back. In an instant, her magical escape becomes a permanent prison. She's trapped as a cat. And if you thought it couldn't get any weirder, you'd be wrong. A few days go by, and suddenly, a new Mio shows up at school. She looks like Mio, she sounds like Mio, but it's not her. The real Mio, stuck as a cat, sees this imposter living her life. This is what finally sends her on a quest to find the mask seller, and it leads her to a place she never knew existed. A secret, hidden world just for cats. So, who's the imposter? Get this. It's Kinako, her stepmom's cat. And her reason for doing it is actually kind of sad. It's not because she's evil. She just loves her owner Mio's stepmom so much. She knows that as a cat, her life is short. So she took the human mask, hoping she could live a longer life and stay with the person she loves forever. Kanako, feeling a little guilty, gives Mio a clue about where to find the mask seller. Following it, Mio discovers this invisible path that leads to a giant sacred tree. This tree is actually a gateway to Cat Island. It's this whole other world filled with cats and other humans who've given up their lives. And it's here she finally learns the terrible truth. The mask seller's price for the mask is half of your human lifespan. Okay, so back in the human world, Kanako is starting to regret her decision. She sees how much her owner misses her, as a cat. So full of guilt, she goes to Hinode, who's been super worried about Mio, and spills everything. And for Hinode, it's this massive light bulb moment. The weird girl he pushed away and the cat he tells all his secrets to, they're the same person. And now he knows he has to save her. So Kinako takes him to this crazy shop filled with all these masks. She gives one to him, and as soon as he puts it on, he can see it. The invisible path, the island, everything. He doesn't become a cat, but the mask lets him enter their world. He's officially on a rescue mission. But of course, the mask seller sees everything. He finds Hinode almost immediately and traps him. Then he goes to Mio and plays his little mind games, telling her, "See, Kinako led him right to me." He's trying to make her feel totally hopeless, like giving up and staying a cat is the only choice she has left. But guess what? Mia's not alone this time. All those other humans who got tricked by the mask seller, this awesome little super squad of cat people, they decide to fight back. They all jump the mask seller at once, creating just enough chaos for Mio to sneak in and bust Hinode out of his cage. All right, this is it, the final showdown. Mio has her human mask, Hinode is free, but it is far from over. They've got to face the mask seller one last time as he tries to finish the ritual that will trap her as a cat forever. They're making a run for it, but the mask seller starts this crazy, frantic ritual. The whole secret tree starts glowing with this intense power, and then he literally pulls a glowing orb, her actual lifespan, right out of Mio's body. His plan is to absorb it and take it for himself. And right here, with everything about to be lost, this is the moment. Hinode finally just screams it out, all his real feelings. He admits he was just a kid who was embarrassed, that he pushed her away because he didn't know what else to do, and that he actually really loves her. And that one honest confession changes everything. It gives them the strength they need to fight back. And from there, it's a blur of action. Hinode and the cat squad go after the mask seller. Hinode grabs that glowing orb, Mio's lifespan, and gets it back to her. She slaps on her human mask and bam, she's human again. They escape the island right as the whole thing vanishes behind them. And their masks? They just dissolve into thin air. Because now they finally, truly accepted each other. So the story ends right where it probably should have started, with a real, honest, face-to-face confession. They're back in their own world, but everything is different. They finally see each other for who they really are, and they can just say it. I love you. No masks, no tricks, just them. And that really brings us back to the big question at the heart of it all, doesn't it? Is it better to be loved for a version of yourself that isn't real, or to risk being completely ignored for who you truly are? It's a tough one to think about. Thanks for joining me for this one.